Hello, everyone. Hello, good morning. Sorry for the technical issues. We're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Kara. I'm one of the co-founders of the White Collar platform. It is a mobile app. We are a online skills building platform that connects people to what we call is as skills builders that can offer mentorship services in person or virtually, and you can connect with them or get matched with them through the application. Tired today. I am tired, but I said, let me show up on Facebook. We haven't been on Facebook in a very long time live because we don't get that much engagement. We match people's energy. And so if energy isn't being reciprocated, we tend to spend more time in other platforms. Currently, we're on Substack, Blue Sky, and YouTube. So those are the other platforms that we are on, the three other platforms we're on. But we like to come and visit here every now and again. And we're just going to be doing like a little 15-20 minute spot about the truth about the mentorship/coaching industry. Um, Interesting topic, right? I think it's interesting. I don't know. I'm sorry. Sorry for that jacket in the background. It's really bugging me. So I'm going to scoot with me. Okay, that's fair. Um, so I spent so much time trying to figure out how to get on live on Facebook. I must have spent like 5 to 7 minutes because, to be honest with y'all, I forgot. I forgot how to get on Facebook live. I really did. And it took me about 3 minutes to even just be able to post the details. It's really weird on the desktop. It's like you can't just press add post. Anyway, it was figured out and resolved. So we're here. So the truth about the mentorship coaching industry. So I don't know if you guys have heard this big story about Cheyenne Bryant and all she got going on. She's just Cheyenne Bryant. She ain't Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Y'all probably might have known her as Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. At this time, she's just Cheyenne Bryant. Because there is speculation about if she really has a doctoral degree, or as she likes to call it, doctoral degree. And so there's been a lot of back and forth about that. And she is a supposed mental health professional that does life coaching. It's just a lot of inconsistencies. You're either, I mean, you can be a mental health professional that also does life coaching, but your trade is therapy. And she's saying she doesn't, she says she does therapy. She doesn't do therapy. She has a license. She doesn't need a license. It's just a lot of speculation, a lot of back and forth. Um, and so um, her her current position per her website is she's a coach. She's a life coach. Um, and it just all of this stuff that's been going on with Cheyenne Bryant has made it very clear because she rose to fame through doing a lot of quote unquote live sessions on different platforms, interviewing. I call it interview, but she said she was doing sessions therapy with a lot of high powered, um, prominent figures, Nick Cannon. She also did something with Cam Newton, a session, what she calls a therapy session, but she's technically not a therapist. She's a life coach. Um, so you see how there's a lot of confusion around her. Um, and she was getting a lot of, she was making a lot of momentum doing these sessions, teaching and really schooling men on uh, the mistakes, correcting them on the mistakes that they were making, or bringing to awareness the things that they could be doing differently or the mistakes they've made and calling them on their stuff, right? She was kind of like the female version of Dr. Phil, right? The female black version of Dr. Phil. And she was getting a lot of notoriety and clout for just doing these quote unquote live sessions on that everyone could, observe. And a lot of people liked her, and some didn't. But a lot of people liked her because she just kept it real. She was very raw. She wasn't what you typically thought a therapist was like, um, or a life coach. She wasn't gentle at all. She gave that tough love. And she brought a lot of things that I think most people knew to awareness. She didn't bite her tongue, she didn't mince words. And so Cheyenne Bryant gained a lot of popularity. She's been around for quite some time, apparently, but she just recently gained a lot of popularity with these live sessions she was doing. And because she spoke from a place of confidence, and she had this doctoral degree, this PhD, people listened. It gave, not that there was anything special that she said that people didn't know, but it was the way in which she commanded attention, and the way which she said what she said without holding back. Um, and so people took to her very well. It's very reminiscent of how people take to coaches in general that show up and present themselves in these very public spaces of social media. They're confident, they're maybe cocky, they're um, they're knowledgeable, but it's really the confidence, the bravado that really attracts people to these people. These are people that people look up to because they wish they were more like. They say all the things that they wish they could say or want to say, and it makes people feel like I want to be like them, so I like them, right? Um, and then of course, then they have the credibility of having the credentials. But come to find out, she didn't have any of the credentials. She just had a lot of mouth. And so this brings to awareness what often happens in the coaching and the mentorship industry. People tend to be attracted to, or those coaches or mentors that gain the popularity are the ones that are the loudest, squeakiest wheel in the room. That's how it is. They're saying a lot of, I hope I'm saying this right, colloquialisms, and forgive me if I am saying it incorrectly, but all the sayings, the words of wisdom that get regurgitated over and over again, but they say it in a certain type of way. They just they make you believe it. They make it seem like it's the first time you ever heard that. I want to make sure, I'm a wordsmith, y'all, and so it's gonna bug me. Call it OCD, and it probably is. Um, but I want to make sure I'm saying the right phrase. Um, yeah, colloquialism. And so they're saying all these colloquialisms like all the time, and you're like, I didn't see that in a greeting card or what you might call it, when the people have quotes. I've seen this quote about 15 times, but they're saying it, so it must be true, right? Like, oh, this is so new. Like the way, the stuff they're saying is so, it's so groundbreaking. No, it's not. It's not groundbreaking. You've seen it before. You've heard it before. The way they're saying, the bravado in which they're saying it, makes you feel like it's groundbreaking. But see, that's the problem. We always get attracted to the shiniest thing that we see, that everybody is corralling around. Everybody was corralling around Cheyenne Bryant. Women were like, yeah, she's giving it to these men that are out here, for lack of a better word, spreading their seed around, having all these different women, impregnating all these different women, and leaving broken homes in their wake, um and good for her. Now these are conversations we have probably all the time, but she's giving it to them in the way, in the fashion that they need to hear it. And like again, I said, nothing groundbreaking about what she's saying. It's the way in which she's doing it. Um, and that's what happens with a lot of mentors and coaches in the industry. Not a lot of mentors and coaches in the industry. With some of these mentors and coaches that use the same formula, right? They take a bunch of sayings or phrases, they artfully master the gift of gab in inserting those phrases and words that we already hear all the time. They pretend to have all this experience and knowledge that they don't have in business. Um, you know, winding, but mixing in their bravado with the way they deliver it. It makes us feel like, oh, they know what they're talking about. Ooh, they really have lived experience. They can really teach me the building blocks to success. No, they can't. They're very good when it comes to mindset. They're very good in motivating. They're motivational speakers. That's what these a lot of these mentors and coaches are. They're motivational speakers. So in essence, you're not paying for you may be paying for a mindset coach, but I would like to more so call it like a motivational speaker. It's just really um it's just a reframe of motivational speaker, mindset coach, right? The people you would go to the conferences and hear them talk and feel invigorated right after or during the conference, and then when you leave, they have given you nothing in terms of outside of enthusiasm. They have given you nothing in terms of actual steps, tangible steps that you can follow to do whatever it is they're telling you to do. But we are led by emotion. As human beings, we're led by emotion. So those people that invigorate us, that make us enthusiastic and passionate, while we sit in our learned helplessness, we are attracted to. But at some point, we have to evolve to something more than just someone that feeds us a bunch of nonsense to get us off our butt. Because we actually have to, once we get off our butt, we have to know what to do next. And a lot of times we don't, because they don't actually give us um, anything tangible that we can do. They don't. They don't. They rah rah, get up, go, do this, do that. But and you know what? A lot of these coaches that I'm describing, I'm not going to say their names, but I'm talking about. They're steady flooding your timeline with a bunch of um, motivational phrases. But when it comes to how do I get from A to C, they can't give you the blueprint on how to do that. Some people think it's gatekeeping. It's not. They really just don't. They can't give you the blueprint. They're a bunch of smoke and mirrors. They will not be able to tell you how you get from point A, where you're at, to point C, because they're not doing any of the work. They're just doing the rah rah cheerleading stuff. That's what they're there for. But you're interpreting it as because you love them so much and you're so impassioned by what they're saying. You're not really dissecting and analyzing it in a reasonable way. What, as a business owner, as any sort of working professional that is trying to get it out of the mud, you should be looking for people that can actually give you some guidance from in a real guidance. That when I say real guidance, I mean that actually can journey with you on how to get to where they're at, because they have made the mistakes, bumped their head along the way. They know things to avoid, and they know the things to do to actually get you from point A to point C, because they have walked that journey and they're willing to walk that journey with you. Yes, motivation is important, but that really is an internal job. Motivation is an internal job. I mean, as soon as that person finishes speaking and you get back to real life after you watch their live or, went to the conference and did all the things, you're not left with much but a little bit of steam. And that steam will blow away really quickly, will fizzle out very quickly when you're faced with how do I even do the things that I want to do? I have no clue, no idea. The internet is overflooded with information. I don't know which is the right path, which is the right steps to take. That steam will go out really quickly after that big motivational speak with all those colloquialisms and all the things that you really already know that all they're doing is addressing it and bringing it and making it a point. It's already in you. You already know all the things they're telling you to do. But hearing it helps. It's helpful, yes. But what's more helpful is someone that can actually walk with you through that journey in terms of telling you what things you need to do. Rah, rah, let's go, do this, get off your butt, can only take you so far. And meanwhile, you guys are out here paying thousands of dollars to hear nonsense you can get in a greeting card or in a self-help book for $20 or $16. You can get a self-help book that will give you all the motivational, all the nuggets, all that. But you're going for the mentors and the coaches that want you to pay $2,000 to $3,000 up front to say all the things that you can get probably in a library book for free. But if you actually sat down with them, they cannot teach you anything about your industry, anything about how you become successful in whatever endeavor you're trying to do. They can't teach you any of that. They have no knowledge of how to do that. They don't know your industry. They don't know what it's going to take to get out of the mud. They have no lived experience. So they can't help you with any of that. I'll have to go in about 5 minutes. So keep that in mind. There's lots of avenues where you can get motivated. But like I said, motivation is an internal job. You either have it or you don't. Nobody can make you motivated. Just like nobody can take care of your body better than you. Something I always say to my mom. I am not in your body. So if you're not taking care of your body and doing the things you need to do to get yourself and heal yourself, there's nobody can do it for you. Doctors, all the best doctors in the world cannot heal you if you're not motivated to do that. All the best therapists in the world can't heal your mind if there is not a willingness to change it. And it's the same thing with the coaching and the mentorship industry. All the best coaches and mentors cannot change your life or help you be successful in business or career if you have no willingness to do so or very little motivation. So at the end of the day, it's not about the experts. It's about yourself. It starts with you. And then once you have that motivation and you're ready to go, then you need someone that actually can teach the steps of what you need to do in order to be successful in what you're trying to be successful in. What's that endeavor? What is the blueprint? What are the steps you need to take? Whether it's publishing a book or whether it's growing, I don't want to say artificial intelligence, so played and anyway. Whether it's getting a promotion in your job or elevating in your career, whether it's learning how to do UX UI, which is basically creating interfaces for mobile apps. Whatever is that skill set, you need someone that has that skill set, that knows what those building blocks are. For example, I've suddenly gained an interest in screenwriting. I don't need someone to motivate me for that. That's something that's always been in me. What I need is someone to teach me how to screenwrite. I need to go to a course and learn how to do that, writing course and learn how to do that. No longer do I need anybody to tell me to get off my butt. I don't, that's long. That is something, again, that has to come, it's an inside job. So I want to be with someone that has successfully created a screenplay. That's what I want to do. And so that's what I'm saying. This is why niche mentorship is so important. This is why skills building is so important. That's what we specialize in, skills building. We do not do mindset coaching. We do not do life coaching. We do skills building. So mentorship is very broad, and that's why we're trying to really deter and move away from that word, although that's a word that people tend to grab onto and to really quickly be able to give them a snapshot of what we do. But what we specifically do is skills building. Okay, people that want to learn a certain skill set and then also learn how to monetize in that skill set. So that's what White Collar does. We're on Google Play Store, on Apple App Store. You can create a free account. It is not free to get matched to a mentor or to a skills builder. No, it's not free. You have to pay in order to pay attention. You don't pay and it's free, you're probably less motivated. Again, it's an internal job. Motivation is an internal job. If you're actually really motivated to learn the skill set that you want to learn, you'll pay for it. That's because you see the value of that. So we're on Google Play Store, on Apple App Store. We have office hours, but I'm thinking we're going to change to appointment only because it's touch and go about when people join our office hours. And time is valuable it's a commodity. So we are probably going to move to an appointment only office hours type format. But right now we do have office hours where we will meet this. No, we won't be able to meet this June 9th. And then we won't be able to meet June 16th. So it'll probably be the last week of June. But if you're interested in meeting with us during our office hours, which is usually on Tuesdays from 1 to 1:30, just shoot us a DM. And that's that. We're not here to motivate you to join our platform. It's either you get it or you don't. That's a choice that only you can make. But I definitely would say be careful about these mentors and coaches that it just seems like it's too good to be true. They're saying all the right things. There are a lot of scammers out here. There are a lot of people that have kind of learned how to do the wordplay. Really do your research. Ask the questions. Ask all the questions. If they start to get defensive, that's usually a clear sign they're a scammer. If they have the credentials, right, and they are who they say they are, and they have the experience they say they have, they should have no problem providing you with that. If they're like, no, trying to push you to buy or selling, but there's nothing on them anywhere online, they have no reviews, no testimonials, and they don't want to answer questions, so they don't want you to vet them, then that's definitely a red flag. So go for the hidden gem mentors. Go for those. The ones that are really about their business are quieter and they're more hidden. They're not really into social media because they're actually doing the real work. They're doing the behind the scenes work. So you're not going to see them show up on social media or live 4 times a day because they're actually working behind the scenes. They may have a website, obviously. You want someone that has a website, but they're not going to be in all the things doing on all the places. Those are the ones I always say that you should be a little wary of if they're all the places, because where's the real work being done, right? If they have a business or whatever, and maybe their business is on autopilot, but it's just really sketchy to me, those that are always on live all the time, multiple times a day, trying to catch some fish. They're really trying to catch a victim. Anywho, y'all be blessed. Have a great weekend. I got some errands I need to run and things I need to do. Take care. Bye-bye.